It's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing of your life and know that you're being led to where you're meant to be. As you stumble on this video, perhaps not by chance, it will serve to awaken your spirit. There are no accidents when it comes to the path of the chosen. Every delay, every detour, and every moment of pain were not random. They were integral parts of a greater plan that is now beginning to unfold. You are not merely a survivor, you are a living miracle. The very fact that you are still here, still breathing, and still rising is undeniable evidence that God's hand is upon your life. You were never meant to blend in, because your very existence is a testament to the supernatural. What you have overcome should have destroyed you, but instead, it propelled you toward your true purpose. You have been carried through storms in which others perished, healed from wounds that by all logic should have left you shattered, and elevated in silence while the world paid no attention to your growth. This is not the result of chance. It is the result of divine favor. It is not mere coincidence, but the intentional orchestration of a higher power. It is the unmistakable hand of God writing a living testimony through the narrative of your life. Now it is time for you to truly understand who you are, not by the ever-changing standards of the world, but by the eternal decree of heaven itself. To grasp the full magnitude of your identity and the divine calling you carry, we will break this journey into 7 chapters. This is not meant to simply motivate you, it is meant to awaken you. This is not just inspiration, this is revelation. Before we begin this deeper exploration, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe, not because this is ordinary content, but because it serves as confirmation. It is a divine reminder that you, chosen one, are a living miracle, an unstoppable force no one anticipated, yet perfectly destined to rise. If your spirit resonates with this truth, I encourage you to type 77 in the comments right now. This number is not arbitrary, it is a sacred signal, a divine code that communicates to the Most High and to the universe that you are not merely awakened, but fully aligned with the miraculous power actively flowing through your life. Understand that not everyone will make it to the end of this journey. Only those who bear the mark of the chosen will endure. But if you choose to remain, you will receive profound clarity and activate a deeper level of spiritual understanding. You will begin to see yourself as heaven has always seen you, a miracle in motion. This is not merely a one-time message. It is a living word layered with revelation and divine insight. Watch it again. Allow its truth to settle deeply into your soul, because with each encounter, something within you, something long dormant, will begin to awaken. You will grasp what your spirit may have overlooked the first time. With every revisit comes another key, another confirmation, another undeniable sign that yes, you are the miracle they never imagined would manifest. Now let us begin. Chapter 1. They thought you were finished, but God was just getting started. There were moments in your life when others looked at you and saw only brokenness, someone lost, someone unlikely to recover. They could not comprehend the weight of the pain you carried, nor the silent battles you were fighting. They were unaware of the nights you cried yourself to sleep and the days you wore a smile while your heart was quietly bleeding. To them it appeared as though your story had ended. You looked like a chapter that had closed, a dream that had withered and died. But what they failed to realize was that God was working behind the scenes all along, using the pit you were in to prepare you for the palace He had destined for you. While the world was focused on your fall, heaven was preparing your rise. What appeared to be destruction was in reality divine construction. You were not being buried, you were being planted, and there is a profound difference. That which is buried is meant to be forgotten, but that which is planted is destined to grow. Chosen one, you were planted with purpose, deep beneath the surface where no one could see you, because God was carrying out His most significant work in secret. You were hidden intentionally, isolated for a divine reason, not as a punishment, but as protection. The process was sacred, and not everyone is meant to witness the holy moments of transformation. Not everyone could be trusted with your in-between, that sacred hidden space between what was and what is yet to come. While others moved on, convinced that your story had ended, God was declaring, "Not yet. I am not finished with them. I am only just beginning. To human eyes, you may have appeared defeated, but in the hands of God, you were being developed. People judged your condition, unaware of your calling. They misinterpreted your stillness as stagnation, not realizing that it was divine strategy in motion. You were being refined in the fire, taught how to pray with greater depth, how to endure with greater strength, how to trust when circumstances made no sense, and above all, how to become unshakable in spirit. You were not breaking down, you were breaking through. While others were busy counting you out, God was quietly rewriting your story. He was transforming closed doors into divine detours, replacing your pain with power and your confusion with clarity. You did not need their belief to move forward. You simply needed to keep walking in faith. For God's plan for your life does not require the approval or permission of anyone. Each time they declared, "That's the end for them," heaven responded with a whisper, "Watch what I am about to do." And now, what they assumed was your ending is becoming your elevation. You are the one they never expected to rise, the one they overlooked, underestimated, and spoke about in doubt behind closed doors. But that is precisely the kind of person God delights in using, the rejected, the misunderstood, and the dismissed. Because when He raises someone like you, there is no confusion about where the glory belongs. They cannot attribute it to luck. They cannot credit connections. They will be left with only one conclusion: this had to be God. You are living proof that it is never over when man declares it so. It is only over when God says it is finished. And He has declared, "You shall rise." He has promised, "I will restore the years the locusts have eaten." He has spoken, "I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." And now, those divine promises are beginning to manifest in your life. So stand tall, chosen one, not with pride, but with holy confidence. You have endured what was intended to destroy you, and yet you remain. You are still here, stronger, wiser, and more anointed than ever before. Chapter 2. From Underdog to Standard. Throughout your life, you were often the person others bypassed. They failed to recognize the potential within you, measuring your worth by superficial factors such as your appearance, your past, your background, or even your silence. Because you chose not to wear a mask or follow the crowd, and because you refused to conform to the expectations of others, they wrongly assumed you were not a contender. They labeled you, judged you, and misunderstood you. They mistook your humility for weakness, your quiet nature for a lack of ambition, and your patience for passivity. What they failed to realize was that you were never behind. You were being built. You were the underdog, the one overlooked in rooms where you should have been honored, the one whose name was omitted from conversations where it rightfully belonged, the one people forgot until they needed something. You gave love and received silence in return. You showed up for people who never showed up for you. And yet, through it all, you kept your heart pure. You remained grounded. You chose authenticity in a world consumed by image. You were never loud, flashy, or forceful, but you were real. And what is real may be ignored for a season, but it is never ignored forever. Because what is real always rises to the surface. What is real endures. It withstands trials that the counterfeit cannot survive. While others were chasing what was fleeting and temporary, you were becoming something sacred and lasting. And now, the shift has come. A divine reversal is taking place. The very ones who once doubted you, dismissed you, and overlooked you are now watching in disbelief. They cannot comprehend how you are still standing, how you continue to rise, and how everything that was meant to destroy you has only made you stronger. They may not understand, and that is perfectly fine, because what rests upon your life is not meant to be explained. It can only be spiritually discerned. They saw your struggle, but they missed your strength. They witnessed your pain, but they overlooked your perseverance. They did not see the secret place, the sacred moments when you cried out to God, your tears hidden from the eyes of others. They were unaware of the crushing, the pressing, and the seasons of isolation that produced the oil now flowing through your life. But it is that very oil, your anointing, that is sustaining you, elevating you, and making you undeniable. You were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand apart. You were created to break generational patterns, to shift atmospheres, and to reveal to the world that the chosen do not require applause to know they are approved by heaven. You were born to set a standard rooted in authenticity, resilience, and divine favor. You are not one who competes, you create. You do not follow trends, you follow truth. You do not seek validation from others, you walk in divine revelation. You are not merely a survivor, you are a blueprint. You are living proof that God does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. You are the embodiment of favor refined by fire, of grace tested through trials, of purpose that refuses to be extinguished. You are a walking miracle, one they never anticipated. And now, the very people who once whispered about you in doubt are watching you walk boldly in divine authority. The very ones who once sought to dim your light are now blinded by the brilliance of your shine. But do not gloat, simply glow. Do not retaliate, just rise. For when God sets you apart, it is not for revenge, but for revelation. Your life has become a message, a living testimony that what God has called cannot be counted out. It proclaims that underdogs still prevail, and that when God is the author of your story, every detail serves a divine purpose. You did not chase the spotlight, yet now it seeks you, not because of ego, but because of elevation. You are no longer striving to prove your worth. You are the worth. You are not merely accepted, you are chosen. You are not trying to fit in, you are the fit. The fit for a new standard, the fit for a new generation, the fit for a divine calling that only you were designed to carry. Chapter 3, Strength Forged in Fire. You endured blows that would have broken most people, yet you rose each time, stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Life did not go easy on you. You were not afforded the luxury of comfort. You were not handed the answers, the love, or the support that others seem to receive effortlessly. From an early age, you were thrown into battles you did not initiate. You were tested by fires you never asked to walk through. Life struck you on every level, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and more than once, it tried to crush you beneath the weight of it all. You have experienced betrayal at the hands of those you trusted most. The very ones for whom you would have gone to war were the ones who abandoned you in your greatest time of need. You were abandoned at your most vulnerable. You were overlooked in moments when you should have been celebrated. And to compound the pain, you were doubted, even when you were giving your absolute best. You were criticized while you were barely holding yourself together, and judged by those who had no understanding of what it took for you just to keep breathing some days. But here is what sets you apart. You got back up. You refused to let it destroy you. You did not remain broken. You did not hold on to bitterness. You did not allow the pain to become your identity. Yes, you cried. Yes, you stumbled. There were nights when you prayed through your tears, unsure if God was even listening. There were days when you questioned whether joy would ever return. And yet, even then, you kept going. You kept fighting. You continued to show up for life, even when you felt completely empty. And that is what makes you powerful beyond words. You carry a strength that cannot be taught, a resilience that is not merely natural, but spiritual. It did not come from books or motivational speeches. It was forged in the furnace of affliction. It was shaped in moments of silent weeping when the world believed you were perfectly fine. It was built through seasons of walking alone, when no one could understand the path you were called to take. This strength came from learning to lean entirely on God, because He was the only one who never walked away. Such strength does not always appear in physical form. It does not look like muscles, it looks like mercy. It looks like someone who has walked through hell and still chooses to love. It looks like someone who has been lied to, used, and broken, yet still rises with purpose in their steps and hope in their heart. Every scar on your soul stands as a symbol of your survival. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every failure did not destroy you. It trained you. The pain you endured was never pointless. It was shaping something unshakable within you. That which was intended to bury you ended up building you. What was meant to destroy your faith ultimately deepened it. Chosen one, you are a walking miracle, not because life spared you, but because you refused to let it destroy you. Instead, you allowed it to shape you. You transformed loss into lessons and turned your wounds into wisdom. You did not run from the fire. You endured it and emerged refined, like gold. You did not allow the pit to define you. You allowed it to propel you. And now you walk with a calm and quiet power that leaves others confused, because they cannot understand how someone who has endured so much can still carry such grace, strength, and purpose. They wonder how you are still smiling, how you are still standing, how you carry such peace after enduring so much pain. But what they do not see is that you were rebuilt by God. They are unaware of the countless nights you spent on your knees in prayer. They do not know the intimate conversations you had with the Most High when no one else could understand your pain. This is not merely human strength. This is divine endurance. This is what happens when heaven lays its hand upon someone and declares, "They will not break, they will rise." Chapter 4, you were being built in silence, and now your life speaks volumes. For years you dwelled in the shadows, hidden, forgotten, and invisible. During that time, you often questioned your worth, your voice, and your very purpose. You watched others rise and be celebrated while you remained in the background, silent, unseen, and wondering if your time would ever come. During that period of silence, within that space where it seemed as though the world had continued on without you, something sacred was actually taking place. What you initially perceived as isolation was in truth a process of consecration. You were not being punished, rather you were being prepared. The hand of God was upon you. He was deliberately removing from your life all that was never intended to remain. He was quieting the noise around you so that you might clearly discern His voice. He was purging you of the unhealthy need for external validation, so that when the time came for you to be revealed, your identity and confidence would not be rooted in the attention of others. You would no longer rely on the approval or recognition of others. Instead, your dependence would be placed entirely on the anointing, that divine empowerment and calling that comes from God alone. While others were eagerly pursuing visibility and platforms, you were being intentionally planted, firmly rooted and inwardly strengthened. Your character was being refined and forged in the fires of adversity. Your faith was being deepened through seasons of drought and spiritual dryness. Your discernment was being sharpened in the stillness and silence, where external noise was absent and divine instruction could be heard more clearly. God was patiently teaching you how to move with purpose, without constantly seeking human permission. He was showing you how to carry spiritual power with humility, without the need for boasting or validation. He was instructing you on how to walk in grace and dignity, even in moments when your heart was breaking and you were quietly bleeding. There were seasons when you felt as though you were falling behind, when it seemed like everyone else was advancing while you remained still. But in reality, God was setting you apart. He was not rushing your process, because what He was building within you was not meant to be temporary or fragile. It was meant to endure, to last, and to carry eternal weight. Quick and superficial success may rise rapidly, but it fades just as easily. In contrast, what is constructed by the hand of God is built to endure. It is eternal in nature and divine in purpose. And now, after a long season of hidden preparation, you have emerged from the cocoon of transformation. You walk with a weight and authority that cannot be replicated or manufactured by human effort. It is the product of divine formation. Those around you can sense that something has changed. They may not know the full details of your journey, but they can feel the shift in your presence. They notice the quiet strength in your silence, the unshakable peace reflected in your eyes, and the unmistakable authority that surrounds you. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself because your life itself communicates the message with clarity and power. You no longer chase after validation or affirmation from others, because you have discovered your true identity in the still, sacred place with God. And that kind of identity, rooted in divine intimacy, cannot be shaken by shifting opinions, passing trends, or fluctuating social status. You have grown too deeply, too authentically to shrink back into who you used to be. Now, your very life stands as a living testimony, a message of grace, transformation, and divine purpose. Your life now carries a message, one that proclaims a profound truth, that you do not have to be loud in order to be powerful. You do not need to be constantly seen in order to be genuinely chosen. You do not have to hurry or strive to prove your relevance. Your elevation did not come through noise, attention, or public affirmation. It came quietly in the sacred stillness where only God was present, and that is precisely what makes it authentic. There was no hype surrounding your rise, no shortcuts taken, no manipulation or self-promotion involved. It was simply the sovereign hand of God, accomplishing what only He can do, raising up those who willingly surrendered to His process and allowed themselves to be built, shaped, and refined in private. Now you walk in a quiet, unshakable strength, not because you are trying to prove anything to anyone, but because you have finally come to know who you truly are in Him. And that kind of confidence, that deeply rooted peace and inner assurance, speaks with far greater power than any spotlight or stage ever could. It is a testimony not of self-made success, but of divine formation, and it resonates far beyond words, declaring that God's work in the hidden places is more enduring and more impactful than anything the world could manufacture or applaud. Allow others to wonder how you arrived at this place in your life. Let them whisper in curiosity about your transformation, your glow-up, because the change they see is undeniable, even if they cannot explain it. Chapter 5. They are watching you with a mixture of shock and disbelief, but the truth is you are only just getting started. Let's be honest. There are people who simply cannot comprehend what is unfolding in your life at this very moment. The transformation is evident. The inner peace you now carry, the consistent progress you're making, the visible elevation. To them, it seems sudden and unexpected, as though it emerged from nowhere. They are witnessing your rise from a place where you were once overlooked and underestimated to a position where you are now undeniable and unstoppable. And while they watch, some do so with confusion, others with discomfort, because your transformation defies their expectations. It challenges the limited narrative they had constructed about you. Your growth exposes the smallness of their assumptions and highlights the power of grace, purpose, and perseverance. What they failed to recognize in your past is now impossible to ignore in your present. And yes, though they may not say it aloud, envy lingers behind their eyes, quietly present as they watch you step into a realm they long to access but cannot reach. What you are walking into now is not merely enviable. It is sacred and untouchable, reserved for those who have endured the hidden process of becoming. It is not just the surface-level changes that capture their attention. The new opportunities that are unfolding, the unexpected doors that are opening before you, or the undeniable shift in your presence when you enter a room. No, it is far more profound than that. You are evolving in ways that disrupt their perception of reality. You are redefining the narrative they once used to confine you, breaking free from the limitations they imposed with their words, assumptions, and doubts. The story they told about you, the version they tried to box you into, can no longer contain who you are becoming. Your breakthrough stands as a bold declaration that the old rules, the former expectations, and the past judgments no longer apply. You are no longer operating within the systems they understand. You have ascended to a new level, a higher frequency, a deeper calling, a more powerful flow of purpose. And while many may watch in awe, confusion, or resistance, the truth remains. Not everyone will be able to comprehend what God is doing in and through you now. But chosen one, listen carefully. This is only the beginning. God did not lead you through the fire merely to leave you standing at the edge of the flames. What is currently unfolding in your life is not the conclusion, but rather the prelude, the opening chapter of a far greater story, one that will exceed your imagination and surpass your expectations. Your success is not solely defined by outward appearances, material accomplishments, or the applause of others. No, what is taking place is far deeper and more profound. Your breakthrough is spiritual, emotional, and generational in its impact. It is not simply a personal victory. It is a divine turning point that carries the power to alter the trajectory of your entire bloodline. This is the kind of transformation that breaks cycles, heals wounds, restores what was lost, and sets a new standard for those who will come after you. It is a victory rooted in purpose, shaped by fire, and sealed by grace. And this is only the beginning. You are becoming the very blessing that your ancestors longed for, what they prayed for with hope in their hearts, yet never lived to see fulfilled. You are the curse breaker, the one who has been chosen to shatter generational chains and walk in a level of authority, freedom, and spiritual clarity that they could only imagine. You are the legacy maker, the one who is not only changing your own story, but also laying a new foundation upon which future generations will rise, stand taller, and walk stronger. You are the miracle that no one anticipated, the unexpected answer to silent prayers, the wild card in the narrative others tried to write about you. You are the unstoppable force that cannot be ignored, dismissed, or denied. And as those around you watch in disbelief, unable to reconcile who you are now with who they once believed you to be, remember this: their shock is not your ceiling. It is your launch pad. Their doubt is not your downfall. It is the very fuel that propels you forward. Their disbelief does not define you. It becomes the background music to your ascension, the echo that underscores every step of your rise. When they whisper in hushed tones, "How is this possible?" let it serve as a powerful reminder that you are breaking barriers they were never even aware existed. When they attempt to pull you down through their judgment, resentment, or misunderstanding, recognize that such resistance is often a signal. You are headed towards something extraordinary, something far beyond the ordinary path. You have already journeyed through the darkest of valleys, braved the fiercest of storms, and endured the loneliest of nights. You have willingly sacrificed comfort, surrendered a sense of security, and released the need for external approval, all in order to become the person you were divinely destined to be. And now, as your path continues to unfold, the truth stands clear. This journey requires even greater levels of courage, deeper wells of resilience, and unwavering faith. For what lies ahead will not only elevate you, it will stretch and test every part of who you are. But even in the face of that challenge, you are ready, because everything behind you was preparation for what's coming next. Because what lies ahead will test every part of you, your strength, your faith, your endurance, and your resolve. But here is the secret: you were built for this. Every trial you endured, every tear you shed, every setback that seemed to delay your progress, each one was a crucial part of your preparation. These experiences were not meant to break you, but to shape you. They served as the training ground for the victory you are now stepping into. So do not stop, do not slow down, do not even entertain the thought of turning back. Keep moving forward, keep rising into your calling, keep evolving into your higher self, keep shining with increasing brilliance, because the best is still ahead of you. And when that breakthrough fully unfolds, your rise will become a living testimony, a powerful witness that has the potential to transform everything. This journey is not solely about your personal success or growth. It is about something far greater. It is about the generations who came before you, whose sacrifices paved the way, and the generations yet to be born, whose lives will be changed because you chose to endure, to rise, and to walk boldly in purpose. Because what lies ahead will test every part of you, your strength, your faith, your endurance, and your resolve. But here is the secret: you were built for this. Every trial you endured, every tear you shed, every setback that seemed to delay your progress, each one was a crucial part of your preparation. These experiences were not meant to break you, but to shape you. They served as the training ground for the victory you are now stepping into. So do not stop, do not slow down, do not even entertain the thought of turning back. Keep moving forward, keep rising into your calling, keep evolving into your higher self. Keep shining with increasing brilliance, because the best is still ahead of you. And when that breakthrough fully unfolds, your rise will become a living testimony, a powerful witness that has the potential to transform everything. This journey is not solely about your personal success or growth. It is about something far greater. It is about the generations who came before you, whose sacrifices paved the way, and the generations yet to be born, whose lives will be changed because you chose to endure, to rise, and to walk boldly in purpose. You are not merely making moves, you are making history. Every step you take is significant, not just for yourself, but for all those who are watching, hoping, and still finding their way. Your story has become a beacon of light for those who remain trapped in darkness, a lighthouse offering direction and hope to the lost, and a resounding war cry for the weary who are struggling to hold on. You are the living proof that true transformation is not only possible but powerful. Your life testifies that pain, when surrendered and endured, can give birth to purpose and power. And above all, your journey declares that destiny, no matter how delayed or resisted, cannot and will not be denied. Chapter 6. Your very existence stands as undeniable proof that purpose prevails over pain. Every tear you cried was not in vain. Every sleepless night you endured, every moment filled with doubt, despair, or exhaustion, each instance in which you felt like giving up, none of it was wasted. Beneath every hardship and behind every struggle, there was a divine design at work, a hidden plan orchestrated with intention and care. God was not absent in your suffering. Rather, he was patiently and purposefully weaving destiny out of your pain. He was transforming your deepest wounds into well springs of strength, shaping your trials into testimonies of triumph. You endured storms that felt like they would never end. You faced battles that appeared insurmountable, challenges that threatened to consume you entirely. And yet, through it all, you pressed forward. Even when the weight of the world rested heavily on your shoulders, you continued to move, step by step, moment by moment, refusing to be crushed by what was meant to break you. Your perseverance is not just admirable, it is sacred. It is the evidence that purpose, when divinely ordained, will always rise from the ashes of pain. That relentless spirit, your unwavering refusal to give up, has become the very foundation upon which your purpose now stands. Reflect on where you are today. You are no longer defined by past wounds or the darkest moments of your life. Instead, you have become a living testament to the truth that pain is not the end, but rather the beginning of something greater. Without even trying, you are helping others. Simply by sharing your story, you are bringing healing, and merely by being your authentic self, you are inspiring those around you. Your journey itself has become a beacon of hope for those who feel lost and broken. You did not need a perfect life or a flawless past to make an impact. You only needed to keep showing up, to keep fighting, and to keep believing. And that is exactly what you did. Your scars are no longer marks of shame or reminders of failure. Instead, they have become powerful symbols, evidence that miracles are real and that healing is truly possible. They serve as signs that God is still in the business of transforming broken pieces into blessings meant to impact the world. Your very existence, your presence, and your journey is living proof that purpose will always triumph over pain. The hardships you endured were never intended to break you. Rather, they were meant to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than you ever imagined. Now, as you stand tall and unshaken, your story speaks softly yet powerfully to the world. No matter how deep the wound, no matter how long the night, there is always a purpose waiting on the other side. Therefore, walk boldly and confidently in your purpose. Let your life stand as a powerful testament to the truth that pain is not the conclusion of your story, but rather the prologue to a remarkable new chapter. Your journey is far from complete, and the most extraordinary moments still lie ahead. Never forget that the very pain which once sought to silence or stop you has, in fact, distinguished you, setting you apart for something greater. You are a living miracle, intentionally chosen and intricately crafted to shine in ways that only you can. And with every step forward, you serve as a constant reminder to the world that purpose will always triumph over pain. Chapter 7. You're not just a miracle, you are a message. You are not merely a miracle, you are a living message. Though you may not fully realize it yet, your life is preaching a powerful sermon every single day. With every step you take, every challenge you overcome, and every scar you carry, you speak volumes, often without saying a word. People are observing you, whether you are aware of it or not. They are quietly wondering how you endured the darkest of nights, how you remained humble when success came knocking, and how you managed to keep your heart tender and your spirit gentle in a world that often feels cold and unkind. People are observing you. Whether you are aware of it or not, they are quietly wondering how you endured the darkest of nights, how you remained humble when success came knocking, and how you managed to keep your heart tender and your spirit gentle in a world that often feels cold and unkind. You are a message to the hopeless, an embodiment of perseverance, grace, and quiet strength, a beacon for those who have lost their way and need to be reminded that hope still exists. You are a living reminder to the weary, those worn down by life's relentless battles, who desperately seek evidence that strength can indeed emerge from weakness. You stand as a symbol of God's grace and power working through imperfect flesh, a testament to divine purpose flowing through human vulnerability. Your life embodies the profound truth that the last shall become first, that the rejected shall be raised, and that the very stone the builders once dismissed can become the cornerstone of a powerful new beginning. Every tear you have shed, every silent prayer you have whispered, every moment in which you chose faith over fear, none of it has been in vain. Together, these moments weave a story far greater than you yet comprehend. Your life is not only a testimony to what you have endured, but also to all that you have overcome. You are living proof that miracles still walk among us, that God continues to move in mysterious and awe-inspiring ways, and that destiny is not merely about survival, it is about rising again and again into the fullness of who you were created to be. You are not here by accident. Your presence, your journey, and your very existence are intentional and divinely orchestrated. You are a living, breathing testament to the power and purpose of something far greater than yourself. The trials you have faced were never meant to break you. They were designed to build you, to shape you into the person you are becoming. The wounds you carry are not marks of defeat, but rather badges of honor, each one telling a powerful story of resilience, redemption, and unyielding strength. Chosen one, the miracle the world is waiting for, it is you. Your story, your life, your very being is a message sent to the world, a message that proclaims, no matter how dark it gets, light will always find a way. A message that declares, no matter how many times you were told you wouldn't make it, you made it anyway. You are a radiant beacon, cutting through the storms of life, guiding others toward hope, courage, and unwavering faith. Your life is a living letter, authored in strength, perseverance, and unwavering faith, offering inspiration to others and reminding them that their own stories too can change. Therefore, walk with your head held high and speak with the confidence of one who has been tested by fire and found worthy. Live with the profound awareness that your life is not solely your own. It is a message, an echo of hope, to those who long to believe that miracles still happen and that grace continues to reign supreme. When doubt whispers its lies, let your very existence serve as the loudest and most undeniable declaration of truth. You were not chosen merely to survive, but to shine, to illuminate the path for those still searching in the shadows. You are not just a miracle, you are the message, and the world is waiting to hear you. And if you're still hungry for more chapters to this journey, or a visual concept for a video or thumbnail, just say the word. I'm here and ready to help bring it all to life. Thanks for watching. Here ends this video. Take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. If you find this video interesting,